What's up guys, Dan here from Worth It or Worthless, and today I wanted to take a look at the Double Dragon Kunio-kun Retro Brawler bundle, which is available on Switch and PS4. The bundle comes with 18 games, 11 of which have been translated and localized for the first time. 7 of the games are re-releases of previously available NES games. Now this review isn't going to dig too much into the specific details of each game, but it's going to focus more on the features that Arc System Works have brought to this bundle as a whole. I'll list each game in the description. You can feel free to dig into each one and see if it's something you might be interested in. Now, I became pretty interested in the whole Kunio-kun franchise when we played Crash and the Boys Street Challenge for the Worth It or Worthless podcast, and I saw an ad in the game for Crash and the Boys Ice Challenge. We had a good time with Crash and the Boys Street Challenge, and we love arcade-style hockey games, so I started looking into Ice Challenge. When I was doing that research, I think that might have been the first time that I realized Japan had gotten a lot of these unusual sports games on the Famicom, and what the Kunio-kun franchise really was. For the uninitiated, the Kunio-kun franchise is a bit like the Mario franchise, where the cast of characters appear in several different games. For example, Mario Tennis, Mario Kart, Mario Party, and so on. Now, to some extent, in the Western releases of Kunio-kun games, we didn't get the same through line with the cast of characters, but in Japan, they were all tied together. Now with this release, Renegade, River City Ransom, Super Dodgeball, and Crash and the Boys Street Challenge also have their Japanese counterparts included. There are some minor version differences in these 4 games, but it's really nice to be able to see the differences in each, which include minor things like story changes, different sprites, and things of that nature. Alright, I think that's enough background information. Let's get into the features of this bundle. One of the first major features that I'd like to touch on is the quality up versions that have been included in the bundle. You're able to play the original version of every game included, but with the quality up versions, the devs have gone to the trouble of actually fixing bugs and making a lot of the games run better. A few of the games include changes to certain modes, AI, and some other tiny details, but for the most part, most of these changes are actually limited to the games that were previously unavailable in North America. Overall, I found the quality up versions to be a really nice surprise, and it turned out to be one of my favorite things about this bundle. When we covered River City Ransom on our podcast, we talked about the game running poorly in multiplayer. With this bundle, things like that are no longer an issue. In my experience with the quality up mode, the games all played pretty much how we'd expect these games to run on modern hardware. The next point I'd like to talk about are the interesting quality of life features that the bundle offers. While the quality up mode improves performance, the bundle also includes nice features like built-in manuals for each game, save states, aspect ratio options, and good use of modern controllers. What do I mean by good use of modern controllers? Well, since most of these games originally used gamepads that only had A, B, start, and select buttons, the devs designed the controls so that pressing A and B at the same time would make the player jump. While this was a great way to work around the limitations of the gamepad at the time, it feels a bit strange in a modern context. Fortunately though, this bundle includes a button by default that allows the player to jump, as a modern game should. By default, the game maps this to a shoulder button, but it can easily be remapped to wherever is the most comfortable for the player. It also maps the start and select buttons to a couple of the face buttons by default, and the actual start button on the gamepad brings up the menu, which allows you to save your game and go back to the game selection and all that kind of stuff. Next, the save states are a pretty obvious feature in modern retro game collections that we all know and love, but I'd like to briefly mention the built-in manuals for each game. A lot of retro games expected players to read the instruction manual to get a grip on how to play the game, and Arc System Works have included that here as a menu item that conveniently explains all the controls to the player and how and when they can perform each move. It's a really nice touch and actually pretty necessary for a lot of games included in this collection. The aspect ratio features allow you to choose whether or not you want to play the game in their original aspect ratio, original stretched to the top and bottom of the screen, 4-3 stretch to the top and bottom of the screen, or a stretched 16:9. Once again, it's just a nice touch that really allows people to customize their experience. Beyond the different aspect ratio, the game features some customizable scan lines where you can choose between smooth and sharp and set the level from 0 to 10 if you're interested in having that extra old school look to the game. Overall, I feel like all the quality of life features that are in this bundle make it one of the best ways to enjoy revisiting these old games. The last few things I'd like to touch on are some non-essential but interesting features that the bundle includes. There's a whole set of unlockable avatar items and player titles that are tied to achievements which change how your name is displayed to online players. It provides a little bit of a metagame for people who are interested, but largely felt a little bit pointless in my own personal experience as someone who wasn't really into the online stuff here. And speaking of the online stuff, the game does include matchmaking and custom online lobbies, but every time I tried to find a game on the Switch, it couldn't find any available lobbies, so I'm not sure how many people are actually playing this bundle online. Another non-essential nice feature is that you can choose from several different wallpapers for each game if you want, or you can just choose black bars if the wallpapers bother you. Again, this isn't anything revolutionary, but just another nice way of giving players a lot of good customization options. Overall, these features weren't revolutionary in any way, but they just added another nice touch on top of a lot of great things included in this bundle. So, is the Double Dragon Kunio-kun Retro Brawler bundle worth it or worthless? Unfortunately, at the full price of $40, I'd have to call it worthless. I got it for less than $20 on sale, and I think that $20 would be a good price if you're super interested in these games. There's a ton of great features packed into the bundle, but I feel like I can only recommend this to people who are super into things like Double Dragon, River City Ransom, and just want to experience the Kunio-kun franchise in a way that we haven't previously been able to. If you know that you're interested in this bundle, I'd say just keep an eye out for a sale, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with what you'll be getting for $20. Guys, that is going to wrap it up for this video. If you're looking for more retro game content, please check out the Worth It or Worthless podcast, where we take a deep dive into a retro game from my own personal collection every couple weeks. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.